Hey, what's up guys? It's ElasticSpyder here, and in today's video we've got some Des Moines gameplay. Now, this is a little bit of a different video because we are playing clan battles. So that means we're playing against TXT, the Text clan. And then obviously this is our lineup. Myself is in the Des Moines, Puddin is in Yamato, Disguiser's Henri, Sneaky Snake, and the Wicked Worm, and the Hindenburg's 3FM in the Moscow, and Mega Dude in the Gearing. So, of course, I'm not really gonna go over my build too much in this video, just because this is basically just a garbage build, I think, for any random scenario. But I will still go over it because I'm sure some people are wondering what I might be using for clan battles and what is a good build to run for maybe a Des Moines clan battles. So with that being said, I'm running main armaments mod 1, then the radar mod, then of course accuracy, then what's next, rudder shift, then and you could obviously do propulsion if you feel like doing that. Then of course, what's the next one? It's concealment, and then reload mod. I do not take range mod in Clan Wars, and there's a good reason for that, and I'm sure I'll get into that a little bit later on in the video. In terms of my captain build, well, it's kind of meh. I've got priority target, well, I'm pretty sure I have expert marksman 2, and then also adrenaline rush, superintendent, basics of survivability, concealment, and then RPF. So that's my build, and RPF. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the perk, but it's for Clan Wars. It's not that bad of a perk. I know for a fact Mega Dude likes to run RPF on his destroyers, and well, why wouldn't you for Clan Wars? But at least in my opinion, if you do pair it up, at least if you have at least 2 ships running RPF, then you can really start to pinpoint enemy ships before they're even spotted, which can be very, very helpful. So here I'm taking my Des Moines into a little bit of an interesting position. Typically not a, I guess, typical Des Moines spot, so to say, but maybe a typical Des Moines spot would be where the Hindenburg is at C, or where the Moskva is at B. This is a rather interesting strategy here, but that's okay. We'll see how it turns out. So here I'm going to hold off. I don't want to push out yet. Starting to wait for people to get into position, and I still see that the gearing, well, he was capping. Now that it is capped, the gearing is likely to start moving out, and we can see my RPF start to switch. I don't think that's because another ship has come closer. I think it's just the gearing has started to move, and then as soon as his gearing pretty much gets on A, I'm going to pop my radar here, because we've got 3 or 4, obviously we're in comms, we've got 3 or 4 people looking at A, waiting for him to get on. And that's when I start to see this Hindenburg pop up, and well, I saw that Montana out in the distance, and then I also saw, I also get that another Hindenburg on radar, so I do want to be careful of my positioning, but seeing that I can peek around this island and still shoot, I'm still going to do that. And this gearing isn't knowing what's spotting him until now, when I get spotted, and then by that time, well, he's already below half health. My first couple salvos were pretty good. My following salvos aren't nearly as good. Maybe even switching to AP here wouldn't be a bad idea, just so I can get those normal pens, especially right now when he's starting to angle. But that's okay. I still got radar for another 5 seconds, and he's on 200 health. Hopefully my dispersion will let me get him. Those shells are looking good, but 3FM takes the kill regardless, so it was very important that we got that kill there. Had that gearing lived on 201 HP, well, that would have been quite catastrophic. So I guess kind of going into, well, since this is going to be a little bit of a lull here in the action, I'm going to go into kind of why I like to run reload. Well, I think you guys all know my thoughts on why I like to run reload, at least in random battles. But for clan battles, I can definitely see the argument for using range mod. And here's my thing against that, my counter argument against that. The reason being is, one, at least the way that I've played Des Moines and the way that my teammates want me to play the Des Moines. And unfortunately 3FM goes down there to a flooding. I think he got hit by a torpedo previously, and then he had to repair that, and then, well, another torpedo came in, flooded him out. But for Clan Wars, it's interesting because you want to... The Des Moines has always been the close quarter master. Obviously the Minotaur has some good strengths in close quarter combat, but in terms of survivability, it really doesn't have much staying capability. And that's where the Des Moines is just a all-out monster. And you might say, oh, well, the Worcester's pretty good too. But again, it's a light cruiser. It's not a heavy cruiser. Those 152mm guns, while they are very, very nice, and you get a lot of them, and they do have American piercing capabilities, they're not 203mm guns, which means that getting a lot of alpha damage very, very quickly is sometimes a bit... it's not always the easiest to do. So here I'm going to be reversing, keeping calm. I see this Hindenburg. He's probably had HE loaded, probably switched AP. And by that time, well, I'm going to be angled just enough to bounce most of the shells, or all of his shells. But yeah, the idea behind it is that the Des Moines is a close quarters brawler with its guns. Obviously, the Hindenburg is probably better at that close quarter brawling because it has great torpedoes for those distances. But at the end of the day, 203mm guns reloading at I believe 4.7 seconds is very, very dangerous. You cannot expose much sight at all, especially with the crazy pen angles that the Des Moines can get. And the other benefit to having 15.8 kilometer range is, well, let's say there's a Hindenburg out in G2 or maybe even G1, I would maybe be getting spotted right now, and that is because if I've got longer range, well, that also means that I have a larger detectability when firing, and of course that is sometimes not good. That is, especially for Clan Wars, if you want to stay dark, you know, and being able to still fire, having this 15.8 kilometer range is actually quite important. So those are kind of the reasons why I run reload, even in Clan Wars. I've said many times on this channel why I think it's important to run reload on the Des Moines in general, but I think in Clan Wars, I think it is still very, very beneficial, and especially if you know how to play the Des Moines well, you know how to position yourself, and that's really what the Des Moines is all about, putting yourself in good positions just to outplay your opponents. And with range mod, you don't, it's not so critical for your positioning. Your positioning doesn't matter nearly as much. It's not nearly as important. And you just don't really get these outplay scenarios, at least in my opinion, in my experience, that you otherwise see with reload. So here we're pretty far down. We only have one cap. We're stalling one other cap, but they have two caps. They're 200 points, 225 above us, and so we're gonna need to start pushing. So I say, okay, Mega, let's push. You bait on 900 health. That's funny. And then I'll follow suit. I'm pretty much at full health, and this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. I've got 80k health. I've positioned myself great. No one has been I've kept myself between I've kept an island between myself and that battleship, so he's been quite ineffective against me, which is of course what I want. I don't want to be engaging a battleship, at least not in open water, and letting them have free shots and whatnot. So here I'm gonna pause it actually for a second here. So I get spotted, and the first thing that I think, okay, is okay, I get spotted by the Des Moines, and you can kind of see that there with this Des Moines. I get spotted here, and he gets spotted there too. But I'm getting into a very, very bad position. One reason being, I've got this Des Moines on my broadside, and at this current angle, he will citadel me all day long. Second reason why is, if this Hindenburg keeps backing up, and I try to angle to the Des Moines, he will have very, very nice broadside shots on me too. Even though Des Moines has great armor for a tier 10 cruiser, I say great, but it's pretty average. It's still not going to help if I'm angling against two ships. And then on top of that, I've got this Montana, while he is looking into B again, you know, trying to find some a kill on either the Wicked Worm or Puddin, or even the Sneaky Snake. He could very easily also counter this push by killing me too. And then on top of that, I've got another Hindenburg that I may or may not have to worry about. But I just wanted to pause that there. So what I'm thinking here is like, oh cow, holy cow, I need to like either kill something very, very quickly, or I need to, you know, kite away. Now, obviously, at this point in the game, kiting away is not a viable option. But since I was just spamming that Des Moines, and I see that this Hindenburg is popped on radar, I'm gonna start to focus one of them. In these situations, you need to focus one target down very, very quickly. So I'm going to open up my broadside a little bit more on the Des Moines, and that's fine. But I think that this Hindenburg is more important to kill, so I'm gonna go to town on him. And of course, when I've got this insane 4.7 second reload, well, I can get salvos like that, and in a matter of not even 15 seconds, that Hindenburg went from 40k to 0 very, very quickly. Now, Des Moines is shooting AP at me, and I'm gonna get punished here for it. But I knew I had to do what I did in that situation. I couldn't tackle both of them at the same time. The other option there was just to go broadside and hit this island right that I was looking at right here. Not this island right there. But I felt that then I would be on a one-on-one bow-on engagement against the Des Moines. I didn't really want to do that. It's pretty even for the most part, assuming he's got reload, which, I mean, to be honest, most people don't run reload, so yeah. So that Des Moines actually makes a good play there by going dark, and then he screws it up. That's so interesting. But either way, I'm going to take full advantage of it. And I also tell Puddin, hey, Puddin, put up a plane to spot him at that same moment. But of course, he started shooting, so it didn't really matter. But that was, I think, the most critical part of the battle there. At least for me, spending my HP at the right times is very, very important. So Puddin goes down to a ram on the Montana, which was... it wasn't ideal, but it was certainly a good trade. But now the problem is we've got two cruisers, and I don't know what HP the Zhao is on. He's been pretty much scared and running the whole game, so he's probably, I would assume he's at 3/4 health, roughly. Now myself, about half. I can probably heal. Maybe I can get one good heal, one full heal, and then the second one will be probably a partial heal. So I'm going to be sitting about 2/3 health. Megadude is really, really low. And then, of course, our Henri, he's pretty close to full as well. So in this situation, I have to be, you know, pretty cautious on how I go about these next few engagements. Of course, they still do have a 250 point lead at this point, but we are getting on B. Now, we have to either kill the enemy team, or we have to, you know, get on all their caps. And getting on all their caps is probably not the most ideal, so or plausible. So we're gonna have to get some kills. The only problem is they're running from us. and that is certainly not good. But that's okay, because I chose to spend my HP at a very crucial time. And if you guys also noticed something that I didn't point out as it was happening, is as soon as I started pushing, everyone on my team was also pushing. The two guys in B were pushing. Sneaky Snake from the C side was pushing. Our Henri was pushing. Mega Dude was pushing in his gearing, even on 900 health. And that sort of thing is very important. If we push one by one, that's going to be a problem. And here I'm starting to open up on the Des Moines, and then I realized the worst thing that could happen to me, and that is that the Zhao popped up on RPF. And thank God that he decided to shoot not at me, because had he decided to shoot at me, well, it could have been bad. But a 31k HP Zhao closing against a Des Moines with reload and adrenaline rush, well, it's pretty obvious who will win here. And even though he's got a lot more HP, and well, I've got a friend to help me, that doesn't matter. It's going to be mostly me in this situation. I'm going to start blasting him with HE and AP as well. As soon as he turns broadside, that is, and if I can hit him too. So as soon as I see here he's going to start doing this turn, I'm going to switch to AP probably right after the salvo. I probably could have done it right before, but that's okay because I've got a 4-second reload now, and well, at this range, even though Zhao's going to try and turn in, I'm still going to get a Citadel for 5k. A little bit of a misplay there at the end. That's okay though, because I end up getting the kill, and then the Henri, or the Hindenburg, will actually die very shortly here, for a new total of 186k in clan battles, which is quite good in my opinion. But let's look at the post-battle results. Alright guys, so looking at the post-battle results, well, we ended up with nearly 187k, 1 plane shot down, 3 ships killed, 12 fires, 4 citadels, and 11 base defense. And you kind of saw throughout that replay how I was positioned and how I played the ship. And well, I used islands. I used obviously good positional awareness and good gunnery skills as well to assist myself in doing this 187k. But I think the importance was the key aspects of this video is, you know, obviously pushing with your team and then using the right tools to your advantage. And well, I detailed the reasons why in the video. So team score wise, obviously it's all the same, but I think I actually earned the 2500 base XP, unlike the Sneaky Snake, who, well, only 1 kill. Like, you say you're the best NA player, cruiser player, but like you don't even have 3 kills and even a plane shot down. Like, I don't know, Sneaky Snake, but just kidding. But either way, good base XP. It's all the same, so it's whatever. Then detail report, 105k. Explosive, armor piercing. Probably at the end, I probably could have gotten a little bit more off that Zhao had I switched to AP earlier. I honestly didn't think he was going to turn that much broadside to me. Either way, he was dead. Had he turned completely out and tried to tort me, I would have had Hydra going. So I mean, he was pretty much dead from the get-go. So this is the credits and XP, if you guys care about that. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later.